had a pretty rowdy screening in Santa Cruz. It was all filmed in Santa Cruz, and the majority of the people in the film were from the community. And the naked guy that did the film, the naked guy, Sean, is we found him at Trader Joe's, and it's like a little supermarket, and I don't know, it was wild. It was like the kid at the beginning of the film, never, acted before professionally. It was his first film. And just all the extras really sort of, put up with everything. I mean, it was freezing. We shot it in February. I was going to shoot it in Humboldt County where the idea was conceived, but they were expecting 12 inches of rain, and the highway collapsed because of the amount of rain that they were having at the moment. So we're having to think about getting trucks coming from, Oregon down to California. It just got crazy, so we opted for 6 inches of rain in Santa Cruz. And, I don't know, the redwood forest is essentially a rainforest. So that was hard to deal with, but we hit a lucky stretch, and then we ended up having to make rain. Because we hit a stretch where we didn't have any rain, and it worked out in our favor, but then when the sort of final scene where, not the final scene, but where the boyfriend comes out with the gun, and then, Reagan comes out, and I'm a Republican, that scene was rain, we couldn't avoid it, and so then we had to match in and out of that, so we had to set it up so it started right before. And then they were telling me when I was, setting it up, and rain's expensive. Fog, too, is really expensive. If you can avoid rain, fog, making a movie, good things. But they look good on film, but they become very pricey. So they said you shouldn't start the rain on camera because it never looks good. And I was like, well, wait a second, we're paying to have the rain. I mean, why didn't they just run and then it's raining the next scene? But so we started it. I want to do a sequel. If the DVD does good, maybe it'll be just a straight to video DVD. But it's the sort of working title is Tripper 2, The Burning Bush. And it's all sort of set at a Iron Man religious undertones and a lot of crank. And zombies.
How did it take you from the idea to the finished movie?
Well, it took a long time. I had been piecing the ideas together, like the different things that happened. I had this Reagan mask in my desk for a couple of years, And then I worked with a great director, Mewes, who does a lot of Stephen King projects. He does a lot of great movies, and I did a film called Writing the Bullet with him, and he gave me a book on writing by Stephen King. And I read it, and it's just an amazing book because it just kind of Stephen King breaks down his writing process, and he does it in a really amazing way, the way he sort of tells stories, and just, kind of sets it up that it's so sort of methodical how you just have to really do it, sit down and make it, just, have it. And that's what got me to sit down and write the first sort of rambling draft of it. And then after I did that, then I got it to Joe Harris, my co-writer, and we wrote back and forth, and he helped me really structure it and put it in a format that would be shootable. Because, when I wrote it, there was thousands of people at the reggae festival, and, bombs dropping, I mean, it was nuts. But then you have to write something that's shootable, which is a big lesson I learned in this. We had a lot of fun with the effects in it because we didn't have money for CGI, so we were just doing simple things that you can do with an editing, bay, where you just flip it, or you saturate color, or you just put things in negative, and you just tweak things. And we did this really. We had a real organic, a lot of the shots that we used would be right as it rolled out, and we take all the sort of mistakes that would go on and then use them to our advantage. And we were scrapping together a POV of something, which was just the camera assistant picking the camera up and then handing it to Bobby, but then we used that as our shot, you know, because that's all we had, and we didn't have time to really go back to anything. We shot a couple things with this footage. We went up to Northern California to shoot like the big redwoods, because we never had the big, huge redwoods with the van going through, and I was like, I need like a epic, like a big, wide, panoramic shot to like establish the enormity of it, and I never really got it. Because first I went up to Humboldt County with like a skeleton crew and this kid who was willing to drive the van up there. And he was like a camera assistant. But he probably wasn't the greatest camera assistant in the world because we got all the film back. And the one shot that we used comes down from the tree and it's sort of, welcome to Free Love Festival, and everyone's sort of walking into the place. But then the other two shots were right as he loaded the film backwards and upside down, and then wound it back and then reshot it. I don't know what happened, but it got completely messed up. Then we used it as Jason's POV when he's on nitrous, that like wah wah wah, that crazy shot. And then right as we go from the past into the present, there's like these crazy like lime trees and stuff going by. That was another one of the shots that we got from that trip. So then we had to go back to shoot it one more time to get the big trees. And we drove up to Sequoia National Park, which is like 4 hours from LA. We towed the van up there and everything. We drive up, and it's, you know, I don't know, like March or something. Even April probably. And we go up there and there's snow everywhere. We drive off with these big trees and just there's snow like this. So we ended up just getting a shot, which there aren't big trees in, but it is a panoramic shot.
Hey David, from the van to the mask reveal at the end to the drug use, with similarities to Scooby-Doo, purely coincidental?
There will always be Scooby-Doo references in all my films. My father had that kind of van when we were growing up, and so that's why I got that same kind of van. And it just is, when I know whenever you do anything creepy in a van like that, it's going to feel like a mystery machine.
What was the reaction in the U.S. to the movie?
You know, we self-distributed it. We didn't have a lot of money for P&A. We got in a crazy situation where we were doing it ourselves, so we got it out there, but we didn't have enough money. It's so hard to get theaters for one, if you're trying to self-distribute something, and just prints and advertising behind it. So not a lot of people saw it in the States. I mean, they saw it in LA and New York a lot. Simi Valley, where the Reagan Library is, didn't do very well. Didn't understand why. But Santa Cruz did well. But people seemed to like it. There wasn't too much of an uproar. I mean, I got some hate mail, but I was like, dude, you know, get mad at your president. Don't get mad at me. You voted for this fucking guy.
Alright, The Tripper out on DVD October 30th for Halloween. Tell your friends. Let's hear it for David.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
In all seriousness, don't mess around. It was a solid flick.
It was a solid cast.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jared?
There's a good old school horror film.
And what do you think of the political content in the film as well?
It was good. It was well placed, you know? It didn't seem like it was excessive. It was nice.
It didn't weigh it down. I think the comedy really, you know, didn't make it too serious.
It seemed like he had fun with it at both ends, you know? Like, you wouldn't be offended if you were a Republican or a Democrat. It was both sides got hit nice.
I thought The Tripper was fabulous. My only quibble would be that it was an insult to the pig to name it George W.